Next question, yeah. Down the back, maybe four from the back, straight down the middle, yeah. Just keep your hand up there. Great, thanks. Lovely. We'll take three more after this, and then we got to wrap because we're under pressure. Thanks.
Hi, I just have a quick question for John. It's a bit off topic now, it's not the World Cup. It's going back to an experiment that you were part of. And I'm just wondering your thoughts on that, reflecting back on it. I mean, why did it not work? And do you think an experiment like that could ever work? You know, as far as I can understand, you tried a full-time setup back here in the League of Ireland, and the ambition was that players could play full-time professional as an alternative going to England, and then maybe get competitive in Europe and eventually maybe compete at a reasonably decent level. And why didn't it work back then?
Well, I would doubt if it would work. I mean, back then there were problems. Today there are problems. The idea at that time, Eamon came back with me to go with Shamrock Rovers, and the intention was to stop some of the promising players going away to England and build a team up here. That was the general principle of what we're trying to do. I think the idea was right. Actually, all we got was, we can't do this and you can't do that. We wanted to build, say, a youth team to play in the youth league. And before we got any players, the people at the youth association said, no, you'll be too strong. We can't put you in the under-18 league. And they put us in the C League, right? So if we're too good for the A League, we're going to be far too good for this. So there was no back what we were doing, and eventually it just didn't work. It worked up to a point. I mean, in Shamrock Rovers' point of view, we got the ground in very good condition. Well, no other grounds in the country actually were in any good condition. We got floodlights in the place. We got Jim Beglin, we got Pierce O'Leary. We got quite a few players that did actually go to play in England and did very, very well. The idea was to keep those players and other players along with them so we could compete at a certain level. And that didn't work out. It didn't happen. Whether you could do it today or not, I wouldn't be so sure. There's freedom of contract now, which we didn't have in those days, which I think would put a stop to it. And players from the League of Ireland still going away. So I would doubt very much if it would work today.
Yeah,
to be honest.
It's interesting. And Damien Delaney just obviously signed for Cork City. He's come back to play, which is amazing. And you look at the investment in Dundalk. There's rumours that Galway United are on the verge of a takeover as well from a Saudi Arabia country. So I don't know. Maybe there's an outside eye that can see the League of Ireland, Liam, as a potential growth sector. And there's a huge interest in football in this country. It just has not transferred to domestic football here over the last 30 reasons. Turner's Cross aside, obviously. But, no.
Yeah, well, you're talking about Hugh, you're talking about all the players coming back at the end of their career.
Yeah.
You know, what John's talking about was keeping the good Irish players here to grow up.
Sure.
And it's impossible. It's impossible because now, a good kid in Ireland now, if you go to England, you probably get, when you sign professional, if he's at one of the top clubs, would probably be earning anything between £250,000 and £750,000 a year. Now, there's no League of Ireland club going to be able to do that, so you can't stop that from happening. And like when I was a kid in Dublin, I was quite sought after, and I ended up going to Arsenal because I started to go to Arsenal. But before I actually could go to Arsenal, Manchester United came in and offered my mother a washing machine to make me change my mind. And I tell you what, it was touch and go.
That's the Irish Mabbies that's best pressure. To be honest with you, look, it is a fascinating topic, and it's one we probably need a whole other show for, to be honest with you. But